are you? This is Jennifer from ZIA Be Well, and we are showcasing wellness and fitness businesses, and we just love this industry so much. So we're taking care of the local businesses because they don't get the love that they deserve. So I welcome today Paul from Plymouth Fitness. We go way back, a couple of years ago when I was 19. And so I just feel that Paul's important in the community because he's the same person I've known forever. He takes care of the members. He knows the community. And I think he came with the building when Plymouth Fitness
just about
when Plymouth Fitness began. So a lot of new things are going on with the season, and I welcome Paul today to share us what's going on.
All right, thank you very much. I am very grateful to be invited to come over and chat with you a little bit. Yes, I feel like I was needed with the building, but I think about that often. Plymouth Fitness, has been there since 1979. So that's 46 years now.
Yeah, that's awesome.
And I've been there for 36 of those 46 years. Yeah. It's pretty much the only job I've ever had.
Why go anywhere else if you're good at what you do?
I love it. And the reason I love it is the community of people, that are there. That community, what we call Plymouth Fitness Nation, the group of members and the staff and the parents that bring their kids for swim lessons and the clients that come in for massage or hair services really have shown us a lot of love over the years. And, we're very fortunate that, that's the case. And, we feel blessed and we feel like we're kind of stewards of Plymouth Fitness now, and, we're able to do a lot for that group of people that are with us as customers and members. And, it sounds like a long time, 46 years, but it's going to be around for another 46 years.
For sure. There's so much going on there. It's not just a fitness. You have other amenities and other projects and everything there.
Yeah, I mean, it's a, like a full service fitness and wellness club. And, it evolved over the years. People remember way back in the early days, it was Game Point was the name of.
Oh God, I forgot about that.
Yeah. So it was built as a racquetball club.
Yeah.
Ron Ferrioli, local businessman, built it and took advantage of that racquetball craze from the late 70s and early 80s. And then the current family that owns the club, the McDonald family, they're from Worcester, and they bought the club from him in 1988. So it's been under the same ownership since 1988.
Yeah.
A lot of people don't realize that, but there's a very solid foundation of owners that are eager to continue the legacy of what's now Plymouth Fitness. But so lots of changes in that time. Physically, the club was 11 racquetball courts and a bar.
Yeah. Oh,
when it first started. Yeah. Everyone remembers the band After Dark.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
So that's where they kind of
Paul, I'm trying to, as you say this, I'm like, I forgot all about that.
Yeah, we're flashing back, right? Yeah, big hair and, disco ball in the middle of the ceiling and all that. But that's how the business model was for those kind of facilities back then. It was a court sport, like a tennis club or a racquetball club, and then the food and beverage, aspect of it. But, in the late 80s and the early 90s, things really evolved and changed, So physically, that club has changed tremendously. It's gone from 11 racquetball courts to one racquetball court now.
Yeah, because there's other interests.
All that other space. Yeah, all that other space has changed to what our customers and our community need and want to take care of themselves, And so we've been able to really expand into strength training, and it's awesome. I just left the club when I came over here and I walked the strength training floor on my way out. And, there's members that are, young adults, maybe in their 20s, all the way through members in their 60s and 70s, strength training. Strength training is so popular right now. And the benefits of it are so important that we see everyone doing it. So we needed to expand our offering for that. And then obviously cardiovascular fitness, with keeping our heart healthy and our lungs healthy. That's really important.
That you have, the Zumba, you jumped right on that when it became popular.
Yeah. Zumba is really popular right now. All the dance fitness classes, we do country line dancing fitness classes.
Oh, I didn't know that. I'm doing that.
Yeah, it's a blast. Water fitness classes, so exercising in the pool. So if members...
the pool's open. Is the pool open now or is it coming?
It is open now.
It is open. Okay, I watched for it. Yeah.
So the pool's going to go under a major renovation starting Easter Sunday. So on the 20th this month.
Mm-hmm.
So we're going to drain that pool and basically rebuild the whole structure out there from top to bottom. So all new building,
that's
basically.
A huge draw for the gym, the pool.
Yeah, no, it's important because it gives people that need to exercise in a more gentle fashion, with the support of the water and the buoyancy of the water to protect knees and hips and back and things like that. So that group, benefits from that. We have a really robust Red Cross swim lesson program there. So, the staff there have done tons of, lessons. There's literally thousands of kids in this community that have learned how to swim at Plymouth Fitness, So that's important. And then just people that enjoy being in the water for lap swimming or walking the pool, things like that. So, it's $1.5 million investment for us, which for a small business is a lot. That's a big project for us, but
so worth it though.
Yeah.
Because that's such a big deal.
I agree. And we owe it to our community. They've supported us for so long and that pool is so popular. We need to take that level of commitment and that step and just kind of reinvest back into them, So, we're excited about that project. It's definitely
the pool
the biggest
is really
project
big.
that we've done in a long time. Sorry. Yeah.
I'm sorry. No, the pool is a really big deal.
Yeah, no, it is. It's a major thing for us. Our numbers say that at least 1 out of 3 of our members use the pool at some level. So some are in it every day, some use it occasionally, but 1 out of 3 people using our swimming pool is a lot of people.
Yeah,
that's a big thing. And we have, the way that things are kind of set up. Kurt Larson, who's the president of our company, and as our owners, they've kind of entrusted him to kind of run the projects and run kind of the facilities things and he's really leading that pool project. So it's been in the works for a long time, believe it or not, since before COVID.
Wow.
We were working on this before COVID. And then of course, COVID kind of
halted everything.
Took the wind out of everything. So it took us a little while to get our feet back underneath us after that, but we have. So he's really going to spearhead that project, so it's great because for me to focus on kind of, the membership and what I do, I know that he's going to have that pool renovation looking fantastic and being exceptional and coming in on budget and coming in on time. So he'll kind of handle that. I'll kind of handle the membership part and we'll, come out on the other end of it at the end of the summer. So.
Yeah. I mean, you guys are a pretty good team,
Yeah. No, we're very fortunate. We've worked together since 1989. So
see, I didn't know he was there that long. I thought you were there first because
he actually hired.
You're always the face in front, like to greet everybody. So that's why. Yeah,
he was actually hired prior to me. I don't know, maybe a month or a few weeks prior to me. So, but we've kind of grew up together in the business. And again, with the owners that we have here, it's just been a great, relationship that they've let the club evolve and have supported the club and have listened to the staff and have listened to the members and are willing to reinvest back into it, consistently, and,
with the two of you, I mean, they were able to, like you said, listen to everybody, but they took it into consideration and let you guys like, hey, listen, this is what we need. And, you're the face of the gym.
And the owners know exactly what it's like, although they're not in the club, all the time. We're communicating with them, but the company has another health club in Worcester called Worcester Fitness. So that's where the family live, and that's where their offices are, the McDonald's and everything. So they know exactly what it's like to run a health club and to be involved with the day in and day out of a health club. So when we're talking to them, but hey, this is what we're needing in Plymouth Fitness, or this is what we're seeing for the future, they totally can relate to that because they're in a health club every day in Worcester as well. That's very similar. An old racquetball club that's been converted, has a pool.
Wow, that's great.
Yeah, it is.
You can toss ideas back and forth.
We spend a lot of time, talking about what works at both clubs and how we can benefit from each other. And, we use similar processes and similar systems, the same software, to run the company and things like that. It's all part of it. But, really, when I say community, it is really such an awesome community. I mean, to be at the same place for 36 years, you kind of think like, how does that work? But it's because of the people. You just enjoy the relationship that you have with the members and the clients and the coworkers.
You're at a community gym. You're you're for the people.
Yeah. Yeah.
So what else? I might have missed some of the amenities because I feel like every time I'm there, like there's something else.
I mean, our smoothie bar is really popular, so we have a awesome protein smoothie bar and world famous member services staff, Iron Bob Jones. Most people know Iron Bob. He's 82 years old, works behind the front desk, makes up a mean smoothie,
I don't think he looks that.
Nope, he practices what he preaches.
He works out. He takes.
He keeps himself fit, and he's very inspirational. So that's kind of a fun place. That's a place where people can get a healthy, meal replacement or a healthy post-workout smoothie. But it's a social. I
was going to say it's connection. Like cheers for the protein.
Yeah, it's a chance for people just to connect and sit and spend time talking to each other or talking with the staff. So, that is a fun part of the club. The hair salon, we have 3 wonderful hair stylists in there and a barber, Nick the barber. Everyone knows Nick the barber, so that's also, obviously a great convenience for people to be able to get those services, but it's a very much a social, part of it. And that always kind of circles back to not just at Plymouth Fitness, but really any health club or gym is the ones that do well and that people speak well of and that people enjoy going to. The social connection is always what comes to the top. People can walk on a treadmill anywhere. People can lift weights.
You need to be comfortable where you are too.
Yeah. And if you're with people that you enjoy being with or are like-minded as you, or you feel that they're like you, then you are comfortable. Mm-hmm. And if you're comfortable, you come more frequently. And if you come more frequently, you get the results that you're looking for. So we talk about that a lot as part of our business is how can we make our club more fun for our members? How can we build those
more
social
welcoming?
More welcoming. How can we build those social connections between members with each other and with staff? And, that's really important because we always knew this, right? But post-COVID, it became even more apparent that people need people, we can work out at home. We can work from home. We can do everything from home. But at some point, you need some connection with people. You need some real connection with people. And
all the staff is really great too. Like you know everybody's names. You look up. I've been to places they don't even look up.
Yeah.
Even if in a doctor's office, that people don't even look up. It's like, I'm sorry you're here. You get to know all the people's needs and, modifications, and the staff knows he gets along and then knows the members' names. And that's huge. It's a little thing, but it's huge.
I agree. And to me, it seems so easy, to think about, well, how would I want to be treated if I walked into a business, especially the kind of business where I'm walking in there a lot, like a health club or a gym. When you go in there frequently, at some point you would expect that they know your name and they know what you like and what you don't like. And if you don't, then are you really paying attention or do you really care? And we do, I mean, we are a business after all. I mean, we want to make money, but in order for us to be successful, we have to know our members' names and know what they want and keep them coming back so that we can make a profit and reinvest it back into the club, But that comes from Kurt, that comes from our owners, that comes from me, where it's not just something we say. It is part of what we believe, and it's part of the culture, and we just did a member survey last week, and, we asked members to just kind of call out any staff that have done things that they found to be special or remarkable or things like that. And we had people call out Kurt all the way to our member services staff, Tavia, and our housekeeper, Rubiana. So it's not just something that is, that the management team does. Like it is part of the culture of that club. And it's filtered through to the members, like nobody walks by each other without saying hi to each other, And if we catch a staff member doing that, they're gonna, hear from us, like this is, we call it teeth and eyes, like smile and some eye contact and say hello to people. I mean, it's a health club. It's an upbeat place, it's a fun place to be.
You'd be surprised how many people don't. They don't even, like I said, you don't even look up. It's like, man, just say hello and how you doing? Then they'll get a smoothie. Then they'll get a haircut. Right. Then well, hey, Joe, the pool's ready for you. The lane, whatever.
It gives you the ability to connect with people, and that's what makes it fun. That's the fun part of being there.
Because sometimes working out isn't fun. But
it's never fun.
It's never fun. It becomes effortless because it becomes part of you if you are in a good place that you're happy.
I had a member. We serve over 500 members age 65 or older at our club. So sometimes when I say that, people are surprised. We're like, wow, that's a lot of people, but it's our fastest growing population. And I had a member that fit that age group say this to me a little while ago, and it stuck with me. We were talking just like you and I are talking now, but just working out is just so hard sometimes, and you don't want to do it. But I know I have to. It's good for me. And she said, when I come here, I don't feel like I'm working out. I feel like I'm just coming to hang out with my friends. And the fitness is kind of a byproduct of that. So she kind of thinks of it as, I'm just going to go hang out with my friends at Plymouth Fitness.
And they made friends. She might have made a friend there too.
Absolutely. Especially if you're doing classes, right? Because it's such a repetitive thing and you kind of see the same people. But then the fitness is just a side effect of that, So that's kind of a cool thing to think about. Like I don't have to go do this. I just want to go hang out with my friends, and then I'll get fit just from being with my friends and doing what we're all doing, So that's kind of cool.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah, but there's a lot of other stuff going on there. We have, our director of training, Nate Graham, has been with us for, Nate, I apologize if I'm not getting this right. I think it's 14 years. So he manages, there's a team of 18 personal trainers that are working with us now, and highly credentialed people, really skilled people that really care about, doing a good job for the members that they help.
That's a big deal. That because of my background.
Yeah.
It's like you have to be on your game. You have to be professional. You have to know your skill, know your niche, have your own thing. So that because not everybody's body is for everybody.
That's right.
So you have to have, so you have a big staff and everybody must have their own specialty as well.
Yeah, they do. There's certainly trainers that kind of lean towards a specialty, like some that might be more skilled with someone that's coming like post cardiac rehab.
Yeah.
Or someone that's working more with like high school athletes, that kind of thing.
But there's someone for everybody.
Yeah. And because it's such a diverse population, in the community that we serve, we need to be able to take care of a lot of different, people, someone that might be diabetic or someone that might have had an injury or something like that, we have to be able to help them because it's happens all the time. Every day someone joins that club with a reason that's related to an injury or a medical condition. But that's important. And then we do have some partners with us at Plymouth Fitness that it kind of makes it cool. So Inspire Physical Therapy is in the building with us. Dr. Sam, as we all call him by, he's new to us.
That's great.
Yeah, we have had different physical therapy providers with us in the past, but post COVID, we transitioned to another, and he just fits right in with us. Like his culture and the way he feels about people and the way he feels about
the way you guys do.
It just ties right in with us. So it's really seamless. It's almost like having a physical therapist on our team, although he has his own business within the club. But he's very helpful to members and our staff. He's helpful to our staff and helping them with maybe dealing with someone that has an injury or something like that. So that's a fantastic partnership. And then we have a registered dietitian that runs her operation out of our club, Lainey Moore. So, she's, a licensed and registered dietitian. So she's able to, bill third parties. So if someone needs nutrition counseling and support, she's able to provide those services to them. And our newest addition is what we call a mind-body counselor.
Oh.
Yeah. So Hillary Ezrin is with us as well. And, she's a licensed counselor. And really for our community, she's helping people make that connection between mental health and physical health, And, I keep going back to COVID, but, coming out of COVID, we were just
COVID clobbered everybody. So
I need to take care of myself and I need to figure out, how do I manage stress and how do I be successful at this? How do I juggle all those balls that we all have in the air at the same time?
How do you get back on track from even if you didn't have a problem, but it's how do you get back on track because of COVID? And you guys kind of brought it all back. Like your team brought it all back to help people again.
She's really helpful in those situations, and has become a very valuable, part of our team. So, we're not just a gym, we're not just a health club. We're kind of evolved into more of like a wellness center, So, you have fitness, you have wellness, you have, massage therapy. I didn't mention that. Massage therapy we have two fabulous massage therapists, Susan and Thomas. And those services that I've talked about, we don't require someone to be a member, so we have lots of people walking through the door of Plymouth Fitness every day who are not members of the club, but
all of them.
Well, we try to at least,
No, but that's important. Who's in your building.
Yeah,
and that's a big deal for making for the member.
Yeah.
To feel like, where the heck am I going to go? Is people going to look at me? No, you make everybody feel comfortable.
Yeah, we try to make people feel how we would want to feel. It sounds cliche, but it's true.
Yeah.
And we execute on that. We do that. And it doesn't come from a fake place. It is the culture of Plymouth Fitness. We are caring. We are friendly. We are warm. We want to help people. And, it comes across in what we do. Our group exercise director, Marlene. Have you met Marlene?
Oh, yeah.
Way back. Yeah. She's been there for a long time. She really walks the talk, so, she is probably the toughest job in that club. She's managing a big schedule of classes with a large staff, and every member wants a certain class at a certain day and time. So she's always kind of juggling that. So she does that. But on top of that, she's like the pulse of the club. Like she's always talking to members and always learning, like, what do they want next? And what are they interested in? And really helping people to feel that connection, So, and that's just who she is. You know what I mean? That's just part of her personality, So we're fortunate to have that.
She is fitness. Like she really is, has a heart in that,
Yeah. She is totally committed to helping people live better, and whether they're members or not, that's just how she is, and it comes across in what she does. But that's, the staff that's really what makes the club, what it is. It's great that we have fantastic owners. It's great that Kurt and I have been there for a long time and have had some ideas that have worked out, in the big picture. But it really comes down to the staff that we have. And we're so lucky to have the people that work for us. And
well, there's a lot of loyalty there too.
Yeah, there is. I mean, we're fortunate with that. There's a lot of people that have worked there for a long time, and, we try to take care of them. We try to make their job fun and to let them know that they're appreciated. But it's really their relationship with the members that I think is what drives them to stay with us as long as they do, and to, have as much fun, with work as you do. We always say it all the time. If it's not fun, why are we doing it?
Right.
It's got to be fun on a certain level, or it's not. What's the point?
Right.
Yeah.
You can do something boring anywhere.
Yeah. We and we look down the road too, like what's coming. Like what's next. This pool project has been in the plan for a long time, but we're already looking past that as to, where's the next evolution? What's coming next, for us at Plymouth Fitness?
Pickleball, maybe. Right? Everybody talks about it.
We've looked every way we could to squeeze a pickleball court into that building, and we really can't. There's nowhere where we can fit one under.
You can build up, Paul.
Yeah, put it on the roof.
Yeah.
So I don't think we'll get into the pickleball business anytime soon.
Yeah.
We know it's
never
awesome.
Say never, Paul.
Yeah, never. I never say never. But we know it's an awesome sport, and it's great because it's so inclusive and so many people can have fun and move. And there's lots of great opportunities for people to do that. Where we see kind of further down the road is in what we call recovery. Or further on wellness. So where, when people are exercising regularly, they need to pay attention to give themselves proper recovery, or if they're recovering from.
Well, that's the best thing yet is the recovery. People can work out anywhere, but the recovery, there's no place, when you guys are already halfway there, like more than halfway there.
Yeah. So we have steam rooms and saunas. Yeah. So those are, becoming very popular in terms of recovery. And, I'm, close to 60 years old. So I'm not a...
No, you're not.
Yeah, I am. So I'm not a social media, pro by any means, but I know that what's becoming more popular with saunas and steam rooms, and I see it at the club, is the younger members are discovering them. The old timers like me, we always knew after a workout, it felt great to steam and sauna, loosen the muscles a little bit, stretch a little bit, just have that heat to recover. But through social media, there's influencers now that have kind of introduced that to the younger population. So we're seeing the younger population start to...
I'm not that savvy either. Yeah. So I just see the young kids, like, that's what they're posting is the sauna and stuff.
So they've discovered it, which is fantastic, right? I mean, that's great. So we recently added a cold plunge, so we've all seen the social media posts of people that go in the ice bath. So, we have that available now. So we've just recently added that. And
that's good to know. Nobody has that.
Yeah. And taking it further, we could see down the road potentially where we might have things like massage chairs or the Theraguns, where you can do your own massage, or cryo, that kind of stuff where, people could really have like a dedicated space to recover and to relax after a workout. So who knows ultimately what it'll be and what it'll come to be, but we're seeing a lot of that in our industry happening, and seeing the benefits of red light therapy is another one that we're kind of have our eyeballs on. So we're kind of just looking at it and kind of just studying it and learning it, and seeing, if that might, be something that would make sense for us.
That's all slowly coming. Slowly coming anyways. It's, as people get more oh, that's great. What's next themselves. So then you're going to say, well, hey, we should look and see what's next ourselves.
Exactly. Yeah. We want to be kind of in rhythm with things as they kind of move forward. And, historically we're not always the first out, we don't always jump on something right away. We kind of wait a little while just to make sure it's going to stick for a little while, and then move forward with it, from there. But, I just like working for a company where, Kurt, myself, our management team, and our owners we're not just living today. We're looking down the road. Like, what's it going to be like 5 years down the road?
And
10
you're
years
open
down
to all these options.
Yeah. I mean, we don't know everything. We just learn all the time. We had 3 weeks ago, the Health and Fitness Association, which we belong to, had its annual convention out in Las Vegas. So myself, Marlene, our group exercise director, and Lisa Barros, our operations manager, we went out there, and a couple staff from our club in Worcester went out there. And it's amazing to see, like how huge the industry is. There were 10,000 attendees at this.
Yeah, I was invited to that, but it was just overwhelming.
Yeah, it is overwhelming. I mean, all the information and the trade show and just everything, but it's great because it gets you excited. You're like, wow, like this industry is growing and there's a lot more coming to help people, and to start to learn about that and to start to be able to study that. That's kind of fun.
You let the West Coast get all the kinks out. And then by the time it comes to Plymouth, it'll be like,
it's kind of true. Awesome. Everything in our industry does kind of start out that way and migrate its way over here. But the Health and Fitness Association is actually headquartered out of Boston.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's in Boston, but you're right. It's kind of works its way.
All the cool things. But like I said, let them get all the kinks out. And then by the time it gets to us, we'll know exactly what we need.
It'll all be figured out. It'll be mainstreamed by then. And
we'll have more options.
Right.
Yeah. But so the pool is open. What else? Classes. I feel like we might have missed something because I get so excited to hear.
Yeah, I think we've covered. I mean, we still have a racquetball club, so we still have members that do play racquetball. There's the basketball court.
That's what I was going to mention. Yeah.
So that's it's a half court, so it's not full court, but it's half court, and that gets pretty consistent. We're getting close where a lot of our college student members are going to start to be coming home in a month or so.
Yeah.
And we really see our pickup basketball play elevate a lot when they get home. So, that court's going pretty much all day long when they get home for pickup play.
Because Plymouth Fitness is not a seasonal gym like a lot of places. It's like going. You have something for everybody all the time.
Yeah, we stay pretty busy year round.
Yeah.
We see about between 500 and 600 member visits a day.
Yeah,
and
that's unbelievable.
Yeah, and that doesn't change really throughout the year. We still see those 500 or 600 in July like we do in January.
And there's so much going on that you offer that they may do something in one season, but the same member will stay to do something else for the next.
People might change up their routine a little bit. Yeah. We try to encourage members to make their commitment to their fitness, regardless of the weather, but we do understand, when it's nice outside, I'm going to go work out, but it's so beautiful outside. So sometimes they might go from, 3 or 4 workouts a week to 2 or 3, but that's okay.
But they might come back for the smooie bar or something.
Yeah, maybe.
They're still going to be a part of the community. They might just be outside one of the days. That's all.
They're still connected with us.
They're still connected. I don't think you offer so much. I can't imagine the weather is going to make them not come. I feel because you offer other things, even if it's a haircut.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And see their
with
friends
us.
And have something to drink or whatever,
Yeah, that's true.
Several
years ago, we did add what we call Plymouth Fitness Park. So outside area for fitness is off of our pool. So there's a small track there so members can do some outdoor short distance, walking or jogging. And then
because a lot of people don't have a place to do that anyway. So that's a great amenity to have.
In fact, when I came to work this morning, there were, I didn't count, but maybe 5 or 6 members just walking the track with each other.
Yeah.
Talking. And then the trainers have access to a bunch of outdoor equipment. We have what we call the equipment shed out there at Plymouth Fitness Park. So they can take their clients outside.
Yeah, good.
So when the weather's nice, and they can grab a client and say, hey, let's go outside and work out outside. And they have all their tools and everything.
That's motivating as well.
Yeah. So they're getting rid of that excuse for some people. Like, oh, it's so nice. I don't want to be inside. We don't have to be inside. You can still be outside, but we're still going to work out today.
That's great.
Yeah.
And anything else we want to add? Because I feel like,
I don't know if I mean, there's a lot of programming,
Yeah.
The list just doesn't stop. I mean, it's just a never ending list of programming. Just kind of what's crossed my desk in the last week or so. So, Beth Israel Deaconess Hospital has been kind enough to allow us to host what they call their house calls. So that's where they send a physician or a medical professional into the community to give presentations on different aspects of health or nutrition or things like that. So they will be hosting one later this month. I apologize, I don't have the dates. And one in May and one in June this year. So that's kind of exciting, and that's something that someone doesn't need to be a member for or anything like that. They can, register and just come and get that knowledge from that medical professional.
And everything's on the website too. So
yeah, we post everything on our website. So PlymouthFitness.com is on our website, or our social media, Instagram and Facebook and TikTok and all that good stuff.
And you can stop in too.
Yeah,
and everybody's there to help you at the desk.
If someone has any questions or they just want to explore,
take a tour,
Plymouth
so you
Fitness,
can see everything.
Yep, they're welcome to pop in anytime.
Yeah,
and we're happy to always, answer questions and give someone a walk through the building.
And you're always there, and you're always like I said, I've stopped in and I have back and forth with you and it's like, oh, there's Paul. And somebody usually recognizes you, or everybody acknowledges you. And if you're not ready to join or just want to do, the classes or something, and they're there to help you.
Yeah. I mean, I'm there a lot. Yeah. Don't get me wrong. I mean, I'm there a lot because I love it, but I'm also there a lot because it's my job, and I need to be there. It is helpful that my wife also works at Plymouth Fitness. Yeah. She runs our Red Cross swim lesson program. Her and her team of 3 instructors are, like I said before, phenomenal. So, she understands what my job is, and I understand what her job is.
You're passionate about the gig, Paul. Yeah. You know what I mean? You really are, because you wouldn't be there.
Yeah. So so it makes it easier for me to be there a lot, because she knows, and she has that same passion for what she does in the pool so she's in that water sometimes 7-8 hours a day.
Wow.
But so programming would kind of be just the other aspect of things. We a lot of people in the community aren't aware, but we host a CPR certification every month. So every month there's a CPR certification that anyone can participate in. That's a big deal. Not everybody knows that. Yeah, a firefighter from Kingston. His name's Doug Costa, that comes over and offers it.
The firefighters are always really good teachers for the CPR.
He is
They get to the point. They tell you what you need. Yep. They're first on duty, so to arrive in an emergency, so they know how to handle it.
He's a phenomenal instructor. I mean, I've been certified for him because we require all employees to be CPR certified. So he's certified me probably, 10 times over the years, but I learn something new every time, and it goes by quick, 3 hours, and they're like, oh, we're done. He does charge a small fee, for the certification, but anyone can, participate in that. So, that's kind of a cool thing. We have one of our instructors, Ashley, is cancer exercise fitness certified. So, for members that are, battling cancer or post cancer, she is specialized in being able to help those clients and those members. So we have a class on our schedule called Road to Recovery that is specific for, people that, are dealing with cancer or have fought cancer. So, it puts, again, kind of a like-minded group of people together, and a professional to help guide them through, their workouts. It doesn't end the list of programs or services.
So, people can just go into, and like I said, just see everything. So you want to see the equipment, you want to see the fitness, the cardio, the dance room. I can't even think.
The group X room.
Group fitness exercise room.
Yeah.
And just check out everything.
Yeah. Obviously our website has a lot of information. Someone can go online and see our schedules and a lot of information, all the programs and everything. But
it's just such a beautiful facility. Go in and see it.
Yeah. I always encourage people who might be interested to physically come and come at a time that would be typical for them. So if someone's considering like, hey, I might want to work out at Plymouth Fitness, well, come and check it out on a day and time that you normally would do it, and because I guarantee you there are some times where people will pull into that parking lot and they'll go, oh my God, like what is happening here? There's so many people here. And then when they actually walk through the door, like, well, where is everybody?
They're all doing their own thing there. They have a routine
and
already.
We spread it out because the building's 40,000 square feet. So it's a good sized building, but we could have 3 or 4 different classes happening at the same time. So we could have, water fitness class happening with 30 members in it and a spinning class happening with the cycles with 20 members in it. And then, let's say a Zumba class happening with 20 members in that. And then we have another area called the HD zone where we do functional classes and functional workouts. So there could be another 20 in there. So, like there could be 100 people in that building that aren't touching any of the equipment. I was going to say,
but you won't be touching your neighbor. Like there's plenty of room.
It's all spread out. So I always tell prospective members, like, don't worry if you pull in the parking lot and there's a lot of people there. Yes, it's busy and vibrant, but it's not overcrowded.
I mentioned the silly thing because this is big. There's so much parking.
I know it's weird that we have to think about that.
Because some people say, I'm not going there because of I can't get a parking space. No, there is.
Yeah, there's plenty of parking.
Everybody is accommodated.
Yeah, there's plenty of parking for us. And, we have plenty of handicap parking spaces. We have a veterans parking space that we're proud of. We have a lot of veterans that are members and that work for us. Actually, there's 2 veterans that work for us. But so plenty of parking, and
that's a big deal for people. It's a silly thing, but I can't tell you how many people say it because of the gym. Like, you're going to exercise to get your heart rate up. You can't walk a minute up the road. No, but there's no need of that. Everybody's accommodated in every interest or need in that building.
Yeah, thanks. Yeah, we like to think that.
Yeah. Well, thank you, Paul, for coming.
Yeah. Well, thanks so much for having me. I really appreciate it.
What's the phone number again, please?
The phone number for Plymouth Fitness is 508-746-7448. The website is plymouthfitness.com. And if anybody has any questions or would like to check it out, please feel invited.
Very good. This is ZIA. Be well.